Yeah, I thought it was good to get some of those guys that serve so mightily on a daily basis in practice. Good to get them minutes. Happy for JJ. We see him on the regular knocking down threes, and tonight he got to do it with the lights on and the popcorn popping. So, yeah, a tune up or a tune down, if you will, because we'll have 4 days off before we practice again, and so felt like. Given the time of year, it was a mature victory for our guys.
Head coach McKay tied the season high 27 assists today. Richie, what do you think about the unselfishness your team showed here tonight?
Yeah, that's our group. AY, that's who we are, and we made the shots behind the passes. So I think it's indicative of. The older guys and the guys that have gone before, the ones that currently reside in the uniforms. Darius McGee at the end, when I put him back in, I don't know how many points he's averaging, but his intention was to get some other guys looks, and that just speaks volumes. Like again, he could literally score 30 points if it was one of those nights for him, and he wasn't concerned in the least bit about. That output. He was concerned about trying to get other guys involved. Hey, White. I couldn't hear Ant's mic. Can you repeat that?
Was it about getting into rhythm, preparing for league play? How important was it for this tune-up like you talked about?
Yeah, I'm not sure how many we've won in our last whatever. I think it's 7 out of 8. So I think you can tell that our group's getting a little better by each night out. And again, the ASUN has had a terrific non-conference year, so it'll be as difficult of a journey in conference play as there's been since we've been a member of the league. So I think we're on the right path, and obviously we'll have a huge test in front of us on the 29th against Bellarmine.
Coach, one more question for me, and then I'll get to some of the questions from the media. We mentioned those 27 assists. When you look at Zach Cleveland, 6 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. He's a guy, too, that also looks to get other people involved when he has the ball in his hands.
Yeah, very much so. What's not known about him yet is how good he is one-on-one on the block. But I think he's another one that wants to get his teammates involved, and we need him to realize that sometimes unselfish means going ahead and taking advantage of what you're gifted to do, and he can score it down there. So, yeah, but I'm happy with our group. I love coaching them. It really is a fabulous collection of individuals, and we as coaches get the privilege of being around them every day.
Nick, you got anything?
Yeah, you mentioned the unselfishness and the maturity of your team today in particular. How much did that bear itself out? If you guys were up with a wide margin in the second half and still doing things like diving on the floor for loose balls and hustling for extra shots and rebounds, how much was that a reflection of where you guys are with that?
Yeah, Ed, we have a saying in our program, what you do every day is more important than what you do every once in a while. So we don't want to be game day guys in terms of, then making the hustle plays or being about the details or the little things even. We want to, that's who we are in practice and what we try and pursue. And I think we're improving as the day goes on. And it's good to see guys really trying to adhere to the standard.
If you don't mind, elaborate more on Darius McGee in a different role. Everybody knows him as a scorer, and you mentioned that this was the type of game where you get about another 30-plus point performance. But being in that alternate role, how valuable is that for your team to have him and get others involved and for them to understand that he trusts them when he's out there on the court making those decisions?
Yeah, again, Ed, I think, and you guys don't see us practice every day, but I think if you watch practice, you'd see that we really are a group that's trying to take advantage of what the defense gives us. And on some nights, people just try and take away Darius, and on other nights, he gets going, and there's nothing you can do about it anyway. So I don't know if there's a different strategy night in and night out when Darius is less aggressive or more aggressive. I just think, again, it's the collaborative effort of our group to try and get a really good shot or get someone else involved. That's why I say it's a really neat team to be around. And we're not perfect. We're not going to win every game. But I do feel good about being 9-4 in the non-conference and having a little bit of growth in the last 2 or 3 weeks of the season of the non-conference schedule.
Further on that point as well, the last 2 or 3 games, the second half against Bryant, the late first half and second half against Grambling, and the way you guys came out focused today, is there a difference in perspective, or are you starting to notice this team starting to find the stride they need to be as good as they should be, or as you want them to be in ASUN play as well?
Honestly, if you took away a 8-minute segment against Northwestern and a 6 to 8 minute segment against Oral Roberts, we might be 11-2 right now. So I know when you see losses, everyone thinks that we were really poor in those games. We actually weren't. We had some moments where we didn't show enough poise, and when you play good teams, they'll take advantage of that. So I've said all along, I think we've got a pretty good team, and I'll stick to that. And I think, again, we'll have some great challenges in a really good league, and we'll see how we go.